everyone. This is Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
Now we have Battle Report 249.
249.
And there's been a change on the left-hand side. Now running Kingdom of Equitaine.
Versus Vampire Covenant and Huzzah-Bees.
Yep.
So you finally burnt out of orcs for a little while.
I'm going to park the orcs for a little while.
Right.
You know it's not going to be very long.
So you went to the tournament in Ohio.
Yep.
And had a chat with a fellow Equitaine player who basically said he's had enough of it. He can't take it anymore.
I did. Actually, it was Tolmir from the from the message boards.
Which motivated you to pull out your Equitaine army and play it.
I'm done. I can't take this anymore. We have no counter to the vermin swarm.
Vermin swarm, which you played 3 times or something.
Yeah, it was funny because at Buckeye, there was at least 3 Equitaine players that I talked to that all 3 of them had got paired up. Each one had got paired up against 2 rat armies.
Yeah,
it's like almost they were
each.
Yeah, each.
Yeah,
it was almost like they were intentionally pairing them up. No, they weren't, but it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
because that's just it's a brutal killing.
Yes, I think I saw on the boards he's going to try to do the double hippo list.
Is that what he's trying now?
I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
So he hasn't completely thrown him out? Okay. Well, that's good.
He seemed to recover from his from the frustration when I read the
he
boards.
was not very happy with the situation.
Well, at least on the boards. Maybe personally he's taking a little ball-peen hammer to all of his guys.
Anyway, so here's Equitaine. And anyway, happened the same thing. On the ride home from Buckeye, one of the friends that did not ride with us, but they were in another car, texted me a list and said, "Here, why don't you try this list?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." So here it is. It's a questing duke who's the general. He's on a Pegasus. He's got a lance, a shield, the virtue of might, divine judgment, basalt infusion, fortress of faith, and an obsidian rock.
Okay.
The lance, shield, virtue. He's also got a bastard sword, which he can't use. But he's got one.
Unless somebody breaks his.
No, because then he still has to use the lance. I guess it's weird.
No, I mean somebody breaks his magic, it destroys it.
He plays another Equitaine army, gets it destroyed.
There's something else that destroys it.
Is it?
I think so.
So the virtue of might.
The dwarves have something that can do that.
The virtue of might is the virtue that does. What does it do? +1 strength, +1 attack, +1 AP on the charge, and for each unsaved wound, you get another attack.
Correct.
The divine judgment is a lance enchantment, which makes the lance makes it magical and do D3 +1 wounds. And the basalt infusion, of course, gives him the better armor save and 3 up versus fire. Fortress of Faith is the Equitaine item, which lets him. It's the same thing as the hereditary spell. It lets him reroll to hits, to wounds, and armor saves of 1.
Right.
It's the same as the hereditary spell, but it's all the time. He's always rerolling those 3, which is really nice. And then the obsidian rock gives him MR2. The Grail Paladin is BSB with paired weapons on a warhorse. He has the virtue of renown, hero's heart, and ghostly guard. So the ghostly guard makes him have a 1-up armor save versus magical attacks. Only 3 up versus non-magical. Hero's heart gives him 5 attacks at strength 5, AP 3, and the virtue of renown. Any of those that roll a 6 to wound become lethal strike, which ignore armor and do D3 wounds. So, he starts out being a paladin, which gives him a 5-up weapon skill. The fact that he's a grail brings him up to 6, and the paired weapons brings him up to actually 7. Weapon skill 7.
Right.
So he's hitting most things on 3s, with the 6s being D3 wounds, which sounds like a good combination. Next, there's a damsel.
Well, I like it because it does both things. It gives you that whack hit, but it also gives you a grind.
Yes, I agree. The damsel is a master of druidism on a warhorse with 2 binding scrolls. I would love to find the points to put her on a unicorn, but
very sad. It's the wrong mount is here.
but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
But the 2 binding scrolls, I've played this army a few times now. I love the 2 binding scrolls. 10 Knights of the Realm, full command, the Banner of the Last Charge. 2 units of 6 Knights Aspirant.
It's a trap.
The Banner of the Last Charge. 2 units of 6 Knights Aspirant with champions.
Oh, no musicians. Okay.
Nope. I would like to get musicians in them, but again, it's a 20-point find.
Yep.
2 units of 3 Grail Knights with champions. 5 Peg Knights with champion and standard, and the Banner of Roland.
Yep.
Banner of the Roland is the one that gives you +1 ward save to a maximum of 4 versus ranged attacks. Not shooting, ranged, which is very important. 2 units of 10 elves.
Love me some brigands.
2 units of 10 brigands. These guys are fantastic. And 2 units of 5 yeoman outriders. This currently in this list, they have bows and 6-up armor. Nothing. Dirt cheap.
I like throwing weapons.
Yeah, we'll see where I go with those later on. I'm not really thrilled with the 6-up armor.
Yeah.
But for now, that's what they are.
Well, the whole thing is 1 turn chaff.
Correct, but
That's what they do.
giving them the armor means that a lot of times they're 2-turn chaff because they don't get shot off.
Yeah.
Quite so easy. But anyway, that's a discussion for whatever. As I play the army more. Necromancer, playing the Vampire Covenant, he's got a Necromancer as his general. He's a master of evocation, and he's got the Necromantic Staff.
Okay.
Vampire Count, master of occultism. He's an independent bloodline. He has arcane knowledge. He's got a halberd, and he's on a zombie dragon. He's also got a Barrow King with a lance, heavy armor, shield, basalt infusion, dusk forged shield, and a skeletal steed. This guy's tough 5, rerollable 1 armor save.
Yeah.
He's just there to sit there and just annoy you all day long.
Yeah. I suppose. Okay.
Unit of 21 zombies.
He's not a BSB.
He's not a BSB.
Okay.
Correct. I think this guy has tweaked this list and he's now a BSB, but he was not during this one. 21 zombies, 2 units of 23 skeletons with full command, Legion Standard, and hand weapon shield. 2 units of dire wolves with a champ. A dark coach with the extended chassis. 3 gas. 5 spectral hunters and 4 winged reapers.
Okay. You see a lot of extended chassis?
I do.
Okay.
Just a couple more attacks, and it doesn't really cost you much, and it actually increases your bubble a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Because it is long.
It's very long, but
it's very long.
I don't know. It doesn't cost much if I remember correctly. So anyway,
yeah, it makes it real long.
So here we go. What did we play? Oh, we played scoring unit. We kept capture the flags. We replaced. This is after the first turn's movement. I've already moved once.
Okay, so you're a slacker.
Unless we played refused. Maybe we played counter thrust. Could have played counter thrust. Anyway, one way or another. That's my deployment.
So what's the terrain?
Terrain, starting on the left-hand side, sorry. There's a woods, going clockwise from there. There's a swamp, which is a water feature. Across the top is a hill. On the right is a clump of field, wall, and impassable.
So I didn't use the terrain pack for this one.
Did not.
Yeah.
To the right is another big chunk of impassable for that tower. A ruin here in the middle of my deployment zone, and a hill on my left.
Okay.
And of course the unit with the Banner Last Charge sitting right on that hill, prepared. The BSB is interesting because the BSB is a Grail Knight,
right,
can bounce between any of these units he wants to, which is kind of handy. So
you just have to be careful.
Yeah, because he makes that unit fearless,
right,
which is a problem. But
it can be.
Can be.
Yeah. It can also be very helpful.
Can be helpful as well.
So yeah.
There's another picture of the same thing. And picture. Oh, so first round. Let's back up.
Do you remember how the setup went? Who set up first?
We did one to. I don't remember which models, but I know he set up 3 and then dropped everything.
Okay.
I didn't bother. So.
Didn't bother what? Dropping or
dropping?
Okay. So you were going to pray anyway.
Yeah. Because I'm going to pray anyway. Because he's got these big winged reaper guys and the zombie dragon and all kinds of other nasty stuff.
He had enough strength 5 to worry about.
Correct. Okay. Also, so first round. He decided to charge on the first round, make a long charge. There's a unit of whatchamacallits over here, brigands behind this building.
Okay.
My second unit's back there. He tried a long charge, so I stand and shot and killed one.
Okay.
Then the rest of his stuff just moved up.
Okay.
Including this unit, all dashed all the way
So
forward.
I'm sorry. So just so he's got what's what in his army?
Oh, so spectral hunters are over here.
Those are spectral hunters. Okay.
With the guy, the Barrow Knight.
He's with them. Okay.
And of course the Dark Coach.
Can he attach to them?
Who? He's not. I don't know if he can.
Oh, he's next to him. I don't think he can
He's
attach
just
to
sitting
him
beside him.
because he's not. Only his horse is got the ghost step thing.
No, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can or not. He did not.
Okay.
Actually, this missed from his list as well. Anyway, so the 3 guests are here. He's playing these 3 bats as phantom hosts.
Okay.
This is a unit of 3 phantom hosts.
So he needs to get out the white spray paint.
Correct.
Okay.
2 units of skeletons, unit of zombies.
Okay.
And then the big winged reapers. Another unit of dogs over there.
Okay.
And at this point, his dragon's
over there
kind of flew over there. Like I said, right over here behind him, of course, is the brigands, but it's not like they're going to charge him.
Right. Or anybody else.
Or anybody else for that matter. You can't see it here, but there's the edge of the base down there on the bottom of the screen. The 1 unit of brigands backed up all the way to the back edge, but stayed within 30 of the dogs out here.
Okay.
The other brigands moved up to within 15 of the dogs, and between the 2 of them, they shot them off.
Okay. All right.
If you recall, he came forward with his dogs here. This unit's a knight's.
I didn't, but okay.
The knight's aspirant charged them, smashed them, and overran to here.
All right.
Because again, I would love for him to come out here in the middle of this field with something valuable.
Yeah.
And right now, that the only thing that he can really reach me with is these guys.
And you look like you're missing aspirant.
And his dog killed an aspirant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very bad of me. Anyway, so we have that. And over here, the aspirants reformed to 6 wide. And you can see the BSBs come up here to join the Grail Knights. There's another unit of Grail Knights over here on the left. I've got up to where I've got long charges available at the stuff if he doesn't move. But he's got even longer charges.
Okay.
To me. So we go on to turn 2. Turn 2, it's what it looks like going into his turn. There's the other unit of brigands over there. The far right. They finally showed up.
Far right. Oh, behind the building.
Yeah, behind the building.
Yeah, I saw him before. Okay.
So he's going to try a long charge at these guys. Their movement's 6, and I think this wasn't as long as I thought it was, but we decided to flee from it.
So your brigand's in a big long string just because you're trying to get every inch out of him?
I wanted to get out. I needed to make sure to get out of his terror range of his dragon.
Okay.
Because I didn't want his dragon to be able to charge me off with my leadership 5.
Okay.
Which the mounted yeomen have better leadership, by the way.
Well, they're yeomen. They're not brigands.
Okay, that's true. So, anyway, so he declared a charge with a Spirit Phantom Host. I fled. Popped through.
Knights. Okay.
And then he continues to move around a little bit. You can see the dragon backed up because the guy's got spells.
He's got, 8, 9 spells?
It's ridiculous. He's got a ton of spells, but he's got a lot of good spells. And then my general is here in this unit. He cannot come within charge range of my general.
Right.
Because my general will come out, or the unit will go.
He can.
Yeah, and then with the Virtue of Might and the Virtue of Might and the Lance of, what's it called? The Divine Judgment. he'll just erase him. So anyway, can't afford to have that happen. So he casts a spell at me, kills 3 of me, and I panic.
Okay.
Start heading towards the edge of the board. They're leadership 5. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I
really missed the +1 leadership on musicians.
Musicians for rally.
Yeah.
I still would love for that to come
I wish
back.
they would bring that back.
Yeah. It made musicians much more valuable.
Yeah. I
Going
prefer
into my
that
turn.
role than the whole marchy thing that they do now that no one ever remembers.
Right. So actually, I'm seeing more and more people remember
Oh,
that
do they?
as
Okay.
in the past. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been starting to be called quite a bit.
Ah, good.
So my turn. Both these units need 11s to get in here, but looking at where they are, there's not much chance of him countercharging that really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and try him.
Okay. Unless you roll a 6. Of course, if you roll a 6 on one die, you're probably in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That was my thought, but
Okay.
So try both of these, as you can see, and then of course I also still had these guys in reserve. But the one unit made it, the other unit did not.
Yep.
He gave a wound to my BSB with one of his snipe spells on his turn.
And
now that I
cultism?
think about it. Yep.
Yep.
So anyway, so the
That's what occultism does.
Grail Knights made it into the Spectral Hunters. These guys, the Yeoman came up to chaff, just to park here in the middle. That way this thing right here can't get on me.
It has to kill something before it flies, right?
It never flies anymore.
Oh, okay.
They took that out.
I haven't paid attention to it in forever.
Okay. So we kind of reposition ourselves around, and we're looking like that. And you can see the Knights back here rallied and managed to put themselves within,
6 inches of those guys.
those guys in case something bad
Just in
happens
case.
over there. There we got that.
Pegasus back up.
Pegasus are back up on the hill. Now they can re-roll their charge, which is even a bigger problem for him now. Because if he causes fear, my general can charge
So
out.
flying downhill is much.
It's much better to
Gives
fly
you a
down.
bonus.
Because not only does he charge with a re-roll, but if he's a fear causer and he charges by himself, he needs a 10. So he gets a movement 10. So we've got a possible 22-inch charge with him with a re-roll against fear causer. So again, that dragon can't come anywhere near me. Moving on, we the 3 Grail Knights smash in and just crush the Spectral Hunters.
Yeah, no surprise.
And turn to face in towards the center of the board. And that's what we have going into turn 3 for him. Turn 3. So the Barrow guy, Barrow whatever he is, Barrow Knight, whatever he is, he charges into the the Mounted Yeoman. The Chariot just backs up. The Dark Coach just
Does that charge
backs up out of charge arc. You can see the guy, the gas over there, had turned to face.
Yeah.
He just rearranges some stuff out here in the center.
Okay.
And like I said, it's just kind of a standoff with this guy.
Okay.
He can't, neither one of these units wants to come close to me.
So he's hoping to outmagic you.
And he's hoping he'll just snipe me away and actually do me, get on me at this point.
Right.
I had placed the guy 12¼ inches away from this unit. So when he killed my Mounted Yeoman, he ran forward and actually got like an 11 or something right in front of me. So worked out okay. And there we got that. Going to the bottom of turn 3. There's the position. So here's what I'm looking at. This is the unit, this unit of skeleton over here. This is where his necromancer is. His level 4 necromancer, general of the army,
Right.
is in the corner of this unit.
Okay.
And, there's this other guy on this big dragon.
Right.
So looking at this, what I'm trying to do here is this unit of Grail Knights is going to charge in, line up on this flank. These guys, I need a roll of an 8 to get them in to here,
And overlap.
and then a 7-inch overrun into this unit with his general in it, with the Peg Knights, because they're all the way stretched out here.
Right.
Because of course these guys are smaller bases, so I can maximize with these models rather than them. So I'm really thrilled with that.
And general's on what side?
The general's currently here.
Okay.
He'll be out of arc. He'll be out of contact, but he can shift down.
He can shift. I'm just wondering.
Get in contact. And the Grail Knights are the ones that
I mean,
are going to do
if you want him to.
the Grail Knights, I do, because I need those wounds to get through the spectral hunters, not bats. Remember?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The phantom host.
The Phantom Host. Yes.
I need the magic attacks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of course, the Grail Knights all have magic
Yeah, yeah.
attacks as well. So, anyway, so we got that going for us there. That's what we're all looking for, and of course these aspirants charge into this guy.
No one died in the woods.
They did lose one, I believe.
Oh.
I don't think I've moved them at this point.
Okay.
So with the rerollable 8, these the Peg Knights fail.
Okay.
Grail Knights go in alone.
Mm-hmm.
This is quite wonderful. There you go. They go in and lose 1 on the charge.
Yep.
I do put stone skin off of on them just to
wow.
make sure
Okay.
that guy's not going to kill them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really worried about this fight up here, and no back here matters. Up on the top left, you can see the Grail Knights have just backed up.
Yep.
They're 4 inches.
You need to put something on them.
And I put the healing waters on them. So against strength 4 attacks, now they have a 4 up. Because I do have Oaken Throne up.
All right.
Because they are within 12 of the water feature, so
Yep.
I can do that. That's the one thing I like about this. It's a fairly low costing casting, and it gives you the good ward save. I mean, they already have a 5 up, but 4 up's better than...
You got the throne up.
4 is better.
Yeah. And you got the terrain around you.
Right. So that's going to end it for that turn.
Okay.
Actually, we haven't done that fight, have we? So we go into this fight. We do put a wound on the guy over here, the Barrow Knight guy. And we come 1 point short of killing the Phantom Host. And like 2 turns later, I'm like, oh, you know what? I have divine attacks, don't I? I should have wiped you.
Yeah.
Of course, it wouldn't have been as good because they would have just been plugged here onto this unit of zombies, which
or not
doesn't help me a lot. Or standing there in the middle of the field, which means the exact same thing happens to him as what's about to happen to him.
Probably worse.
So the coach is going to try another long charge here to help out his Barrow guy. These guys, I think, needed a 7 or an 8 to reach the Grail Knights, but they don't have Swift Stride.
Right. Dudes.
The unit of skeletons here is going to charge into you to my Grail Knights with my BSB. And since these guys have the Necromancer in them, they decide they're not going to go as well. There they go. The brigands who panicked earlier never rallied and just continued off the board. He fireballs these guys or did something to them and killed all but 1. And he starts heading towards the edge of the board. The previous turn they were on the back edge at one point, and my last turn they had come forward. And now they're going back again. But he failed both these charges, and you can see what this has done to him.
Yeah.
It's bang, bang, bang.
Made him very unhappy.
Yeah. So over here, this fight just continues, a slap fight. And there's the skeletons piled in.
That's one interesting thing. Quite often, if you're playing defensively, just calling it a long charge doesn't hurt you very much.
No.
But I see more and more people just do it all the time, and 2 things happen. They get used to it, and things like this. They don't think about what's the worst case scenario.
Well, these were both really long charges.
Yeah.
Those were both. Well, this one wasn't. These guys,
like
I said,
that's a 7.
They needed a 7 or an 8.
So that's not so bad.
But it's only on 2 dice, so it's below average.
So
but of course, this wasn't a penalty for him, really.
That's not so bad. It's the coach, right?
Failing was really bad.
It's a penalty because if they got in, he may have been okay.
Right.
He may have held it up, but he didn't get in, and
the coach fails.
So either that happens, or you see people when they're trying to play aggressive, and they keep trying to do these long charges and they fail, and they only go a couple inches a turn. Which if they just said, "I've got the push army, just move a turn," then make it so I'm going to instead of spend 3 turns failing charges. Yeah. Agreed.
So anyway, that's where he did. He piles in here.
Okay.
As a 6 marker, that's 6 extra skeletons that he hasn't put out at this point.
Okay.
He's growing more because he needs them. This fight continues. You can see we've eliminated the Spirit Host because I think it was on this turn that we remembered that hey, we do have divine attacks.
Oh, okay.
And then he shifts down and covers me, but tries to leave my corner open for later
use. I can't see anything around that would want to charge there.
I don't either, to tell you the truth. That is the BSB is shifted down to the opposite side of
Yeah.
the unit for
Yeah.
some reason. I'm not sure why he did that either. I think for some reason he'd rather fight skeletons than what he sees on that hill.
Yeah.
And there you have that going into my turn.
Okay.
So my turn, yeah, it's not a clear picture, but the Grail Knights are going to charge into the side of the coach, and these guys needing a 10, the Banner Last Charge unit is going to charge into the side of the Ghast.
They can get there?
On a 10,
No, I meant as far as
Yeah.
turning and all of
they
that.
come up, they can clear this,
There's enough
turn,
room to
and
clear
go
it?
in.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got enough to clear it.
Okay.
And Mr. Brigand
Rallied?
rallies on a
On
3.
2 or 3?
A 3.
I guess, yeah.
Well, 2.5.
Yeah.
So he rallies on a 3.
Okay.
And that was me right here looking up to make sure that the Leadership 5 did work.
Yeah.
That the 3 did work, because I wasn't sure
Yeah.
when I rolled the 3. Over here, this just lap fight continues. I'm not quite sure why these guys are coming up in this area.
They were in the way?
They were in the way of other stuff, so they did. They just came over to get out of the way. There you go. You can see what's happened here. I didn't do great
So
in the
Pegasus
charge.
are still sitting on the hill. Okay.
Pegasus actually moved off the hill.
Okay.
They moved off to the left. You'll
Mm-hmm.
see in a minute. I didn't do that great on the charge. I think I only did 3 wounds.
So I see little hearts up.
Yeah, he used the little hearts.
Mm-hmm.
He did only 1 back to me though. And with a charge flank and
Right.
a wound up on him, he crumbles away,
Mm-hmm.
which allows me to overrun into this combat and join the second combat.
Right.
This is like a 9
Okay.
overrun now. Not quite as it was good as earlier, but it's still a possibility.
Yeah.
And again, that is his Necromancer sitting right there.
And your Swift Stride.
And I'm Swift Stride. So we blow through those, and they overrun and didn't run.
And
Got
don't
like a
make it.
5 or 4, something. Not great. But the Banner Last Charge unit pivots as well, stays where it is, and just reforms.
Okay.
And there's the Peg Knights come down into the center where they can
Looks like you did some summer growth on your.
reach anything. And I used the single spell, I think. I think it was within 12.
I think. Okay.
And got
Because the throne is up, you could add a
because
guy.
the throne is up, add the 6 guy back in.
Yeah.
And for some reason I forgot to reform them into where they would get a rank bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still 4 wide in the front for some reason.
Well, you're in the woods too, so.
Just the rank +1 rank bonus, even if we push a combat, gives him a wound. So anyway, it's just something I should have done. Not great, but fight over here continues. We're worried about the skeletons. We put stone skin on ourselves. It's not really about the skeletons. It's about these guys, but it's a good story that way. And the aspirants sit over here on the hill, so they'll have the rerollable charge. They're not going to kill this dragon, but if that dragon comes out here, we can hurt him a lot. Hopefully, nah, probably not. We're strength 5. He's tough 6, but we'd like to think we can hurt him. So we go into top of turn 5. Top of turn 5, that's what it looks like. He decides that he's not.
What's your strength 6? Aren't you devastating charge? +1 strength?
Are they?
+1 attack?
I think it's just +1 attack. I have to verify that. I'm playing it wrong if they are. Because the stone skin's up, he does not send in the Winged Reapers. Because he's in my front, he's only going to get 1 in anyway.
Right.
So he decides it's not worth it because based on where these guys are and where these guys are, if he does, he'll get smashed.
Rather hard.
So he just redeploys them a little bit. Down here, his Necromancer bails out of the unit
Wow.
and runs it. Well, he's out of everyone's arc at the moment, which is unfortunate.
Oh, and you don't have the 1 attack spell, do you?
Well, even that wouldn't have helped me because it's the stone one,
Yeah.
which works 12 inches or actually I am within 12 now.
You're right there.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Just think about that. But no, I don't usually take that spell. I've been told I should start considering it because it is a low casting cost. So anyway, and one of the things about druidism is getting your wound back
Yeah.
for casting a spell.
That's what it's for.
So anyway, so you can see that. It's going to be back to my turn after we grind this fight out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The Grail Knights are going to charge into this flank here. This Knight unit's... Did the Grail Knights charge the flank? I've got dice down. I think they did. I think the Grail Knights are charging. The Banner of the Last Charge is going in.
Mm-hmm.
The Peg Knights are going to stay, but the General needing a 10. Remember, he's movement 10. It needs a 10 to get up here to the hill.
Okay.
Again, if he fails, he's out here in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it. If I fail, I can take the Peg Knight unit and flap up in front of me and redirect so he doesn't have room to fit this unit in.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys over here in the back
Doesn't look like he has a lot of room to fit it in anyway.
have the correct. And this unit over here also has the opportunity to come flip around and get in the way.
Yeah.
So there you go. So yeah, I guess I did charge everybody there. And
Guess you made it.
everyone made it, and you can see they popped up here anyway, just to be sure. I'm not sure what I was worried about, but they came up here anyway. The Yeoman Outriders.
Yeah.
The General made it up in here, and for whatever reason I was slightly concerned, so I put a stone skin on him.
Okay.
But apparently he didn't need it, because he wiped the unit before it got to attack.
Oh, really? Did that many wounds? Yeah.
He did.
That's nice.
Yeah, hitting on
Hitting good, but
hitting on twos, wounding on twos, and
Yeah.
re-rolling ones.
Yeah.
It's and then D3 plus 1 each.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to roll
Yeah.
up that many.
Yeah, that's true.
So he just smashed that unit and turns to face the army. I didn't want to face the dragon because it flies and can easily get out of my arc wherever I face,
Right.
or get out of my range, whichever it prefers. The Peg Knights, on the other hand, you can see have bounced over here to make sure that
Go someplace.
Mage has no escape.
Mhm.
Is the idea.
What you got zombies for?
At this point, his skeleton champion, I think, has killed my Grail Knight champion that he's been in a fight with and locked in combat for like 3 rounds with.
Okay.
I have not been able to cause a wound. And this Barrow guy finally causes enough to break the aspirants and run them down.
Okay. Now he's gonna be walking slow in the back.
Yeah. And over here, the combined charge, they smash that unit, they break it, and the Grails overrun into this.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And these knights just park where they are, just
hang
to
out.
limit his options.
Mm-hmm. Didn't turn the face.
He can move 8 backwards and give this unit not an easy charge, but now this unit will get him.
Okay.
So no matter where he goes from this position, he's almost auto-killed. That's the way I was looking at it.
Yep.
So there you have that. And back to his turn. He's measuring to see where he can get
Where
out.
he can run to.
Checking others, and then he does do the backup as far as he can. He's killed another Grail Knight here. My Grail Knights are getting pulled down by zombies. I mean, skeletons. It's just not pleasant.
Sorry, these guys are hand weapon shield guys, right?
Yeah.
He's not doing spearmen.
It's not. It's irritating me. So, the Banner of the Last Charge unit decides to go slam the
mage.
the mage, his general, and the impact's kill him, of course. Over here,
Well, you really got a lot of charges off of that unit.
what's that? I got 2 units off, 2 charges off, 3.
Yeah.
That's like a record for like the entire lifetime of a unit. Over here, the general came down off the hill and slammed into the back of this unit, along with the aspirants in the front, because it's the bottom of turn 6. You can see his dragon sitting right here. He was daring me to charge him with the Knight's aspirant. Between this, we wiped that unit. The Grail Knights did not finish the unit of zombies. He's already picked up stuff. But he's left with
A dragon.
a zombie unit, and a Barrow Knight.
So a Barrow Knight and a dragon.
And a zombie unit. Zombie units are pricey.
Yeah, you're going to kill them, so.
I was. It was pretty bad. And, yeah, of course.
Probably kill a Barrow Knight, too, if you want to.
What's that? It was turn 6. I couldn't get to it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had one more turn. Yeah.
No, it actually was turn 6. We actually played full 6.
Okay.
It's the only reason that dragon came out there. Well,
Yeah.
it's the only reason my general came out here, because
Right.
I can't afford to get charged by this.
No.
So he was free to come down here and smash up some skeletons.
Yep.
But as you can
Okay.
see, oh, actually, I think he did lose this guy on his crumble.
Ah.
If I remember correctly, I think he rolled terrible, rolled like a 12 or something.
Ah, okay.
And took the last 2 wounds and killed
So
himself.
he's down to a dragon.
So I think he's down to zombies. Zombies, sir. You discount these zombies.
The
But as you can see, I have.
everything.
I'm
Except
down
for-
my 2 brigands.
One brigand.
He actually did kill me later.
Oh, he killed the last brigand.
Yes, he
Okay.
did something to me.
All right. You skipped that.
He directed some
These
spell
are
at
important
me.
events
He
just
was.
passing.
I did.
Passing over.
But he ended up killing that. He killed one unit of knights. He killed a unit of yeomen and both the units of brigands.
Okay.
So, and I pretty much wiped everything. It would have been bigger, but of course this is a ton of points.
Yeah. 1,000 points.
1,000 points. And he does have a wound because the archer shot him.
Oh, okay.
The brigand shot
He
him.
never healed it off. Wow.
He never got it off.
Okay.
Actually, I think it had him up to 2 at one point. And he did heal one of them.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a good.
A bit of a curb stomping.
It was a good opening for the Kingdom of Equitaine.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're not Vermin Swarm.
Yeah.
I
That is the Vampire Covenant, not the Kingdom of Equitaine.
yeah, the Kingdom of Equitaine
It's also not Vermin.
is not Vermin Swarm, and I'm not looking forward to playing a Vermin Swarm army. We'll see how it goes.
It's a good thing that you got 3 regular opponents that have them.
I do. 3 of the guys in our group play them fairly regularly.
There you
One's kind of switched off to Saurian Ancients, but I think he's doing Vermin Swarm at the ETC, so he's back to ETC. That's the other thing. There's 3 other people in our local group are ETC players.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
should be. You should be a better player.
I should be. I don't learn anything. I just play. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.